What's up, people? My name is Skaven, you're on the OSD Gaming TV, and we're doing Genesis Alpha 1. Now, to be honest, this is the third attempt of me making a video in this game. It crashed twice, but not big crash. It was the first crash when I was tuning out the audio options, which we're going to do now also, because I want to switch off the music. I want to get a copyright strike. So, and the second one was when I was trying to fiddle around with the video settings. So those were the two bugs or two crashes that I had. Then the other one I had I was in game for about 4 hours. The game crashed while I was doing a hyper jump, and when I came back, I could know, like, if you go here to continue mission, you'll see there it's just deleted my save. So yeah, pretty stoked about that. Okay, but what is Alpha Genesis Rising? Okay, Genesis Alpha Rising. Yeah, I keep on mispronouncing the name. They should really think of a different name for this game. Pretty long, but let's just call it Genesis. So if you've read the Steam community, the internet, and all those things about this game, you would see there's a lot of negative feelings about this game, and I do blame Team 17 for doing this to themselves. Now, if you don't know who Team 17 is, there's been a gap in your upbringing, because they made all the Worm series games, and they were like the best Worm games ever. Now, what Team 17 did with this game was supposed to release in September of 2018, and they actually they went to all the gaming conventions and they actually showed content and they made promises, and then a week before it was supposed to launch, they announced that they're not going to launch the product because they don't want to launch it in early access. They don't want bugs and stuff like that to ruin the reputation of this game. Well, they didn't sort out the bugs. So they announced that the game would be launched in January, but there's a lot of rumors that went around that this was actually just a ruse, because Team 17 was not busy fighting, but they were playing Steam and Epic stores off against one another to see who would give the best financial aid to launching the game on their platform. So, whoa. Bixby just answered me while I was talking. Okay, so long thing short, so they announced that the game would be launched on, or would be released in January of 2019. Now they went on to promote and, basically promote and trying to hype up the people of this game on Steam. And they made promises that it was going to launch on Steam and all those things. And then, I think it was a month before release, they made another epic reveal on Steam, saying that the game won't be released on Steam anymore. It will only be released on the Epic Game Store. And this irritated a lot of people, because you're making promises, and now twice already you break your promises and give us a direction somewhere else. Now, what also made the community very, very angry is that although they said the game is only going to be launching on Epic Store, and the contract with Epic will be a 12-month period, so meaning they can only launch the game on Steam in the year 2020, they still went on promoting and giving updates of the game on Steam. Why? Because Epic, the game store, does not have that ability. So obviously they will make use of that. Now, put that all aside and put the few crashes that I had now. Like I said, I've been playing the game for about 4 to 5 hours, and the game is pretty damn nice. Not nice, it's epic. Now, it's a mixture between they say Team 17 says it's a new take on a genre. I don't think it's a new take on a genre. There is a lot of games out there that's already doing this, and I think they did this to themselves, because extending their release date, few other game companies, they quickly release theirs. Like there's Eximus, there's their it makes use of the same principle. It's just set on Earth, it's not in space. It's got similarities between No Man's Sky, the X4 type games, or the X series type games. There's actually a lot of games that's similar to this, but they do it good. I do like the cloning aspects and the building and all those things. Just a bit pissed off about. I personally think that should put in a save option in this thing because of the issues that I had now with the game crashing, and I cannot retrieve my save content. So yeah, irritating. But yeah, that's the nutshell. So what the premises of the game is going to be as such: Earth has run its course. Overpopulation, overuse of its resources, global warming. The Earth is basically dying. So what the humans did now, or what they're trying to do now, is they send these colony ships into space, these Genesis ships, to go to a new system. The system is actually called Genesis Alpha 1. And apparently in that system, there's a few planets that can house life that's similar to Earth. Now, your job is to find this planet and settle on it. Basically release the DNA in it and start populating the planet. Now, there is a lot of baddies in the game that's trying to stop you from doing it. There's pirates, there's alien races, there's infestations, a lot of stuff. So yeah, the game is pretty damn interesting, and I gotta admit, I do enjoy playing it a lot. But yeah, enough about that. Let's get into the game as such. So I want to do a let's play in the game, but after playing some and basically finishing the game. Disclaimer also, if you're watching this video, the end will be in this game, so if you don't want to see the end, I do advise you to not continue watching the game. But coming back to my point, like I said, I wanted to do a let's play, but numerous bugs and issues and some stuff that I'll get into in this video stopped me from making the initial let's play. So it's gonna be turned into a basic review. Now, with reviews, I have to state this: at no way did the company or anybody sponsor me to do this video. This is totally my own views on this game, on actual gameplay that I did in the game. Now, with my entire gameplay in this game, it will rock up to about 8 hours, 33 minutes. But remember also what I said was that 8 hours 30 minutes, you gotta delete about 4 hours of that because of the previous game that I played. So the game from start to finish is roughly about between 4 and 5 hours, depending on how quickly you rush through the things and with which corporations you play the game. Now, getting into the game, there is some good things and there's some bad things that I did like about the game. Now, starting off firstly with all the good things. Now, on starting up a new game, you'll be asked to fill up 3 fields. Now, the first field is choosing your corporation that you'll be serving. Now, every corporation, they do have different play styles. Like, say the one will start with more weapons, other ones they'll have different modules that you start with. Others will have more modules that you can install on your ships, more storage capacity in some modules and stuff like that. Better clones, better cloning facilities, and various small things like that. It's not really a big thing. It's aesthetically, and yeah, you can do whatever. You can do actually the same thing with this, with any other of the groups, but it's just basically changing the starting parameters of the game. Thereafter, you'll be asked to choose the crew that you'll be taking with you. Now, you start out with the normal human level 1 clones, but as you go through the game, you'll unlock, or not unlock, but yes, you'll unlock by getting more DNA and stuff like that to upgrade your clones, get different type of clones, and when you complete certain objectives, those clones will be available in that level of choosing. So you can actually, in the late game, you can choose better clones to accompany you on the start of a mission. Then the last one is obviously the artifacts or the attributes that you can choose per your corporation. Now, these also, they're unlocked by finding various crash sites in the games on planets and by unlocking them, and thus they will form part of your attributes that you can choose later on. It sounds fun. It is fun to a certain extent. Does it give you replayability? I would have to say no, because in game it's always the same mechanics that plays out. Firstly, you'll be asked to design and build your ship, your initial ship. Thus, there is always 4 things that you have to have. It's like the biosphere or the greenhouse, it's the storage, it's the deposit, and it's a tractor beam room. Thereafter, you'll be asked to name your ship, and you'll launch your ship and you'll start. Now, the maps being generated is random per game, so every time you start up a game, it's a new generated map with different sectors, different planets, debris and stuff like that in the game. That is interesting to an extent, but the gameplay always in that is basically the same. The map is always divided into 3 levels. It's the danger low, it's the danger high, and it's the danger critical zones. Now, these are your difficulty levels. Playing in the danger low is basically playing in the easy level or easy zone. Traders will come in there. I think while I was playing, they came in there twice, but pirates doesn't come in there at all. Then when you go into high danger zones or your yellow zones, you'll have various effects there. Either there will be bad sectors. By bad sectors, I mean it's either asteroids that spawns in there, or space spores, or sun blast and stuff like that. And the occasional pirates do venture into these zones. Now, by pirates, I mean there's actual pirates. It's divided into the mechanicus and the freemen. The freemen being the more aggressive of the two. Now, they'll venture in, they'll jump along as the game is real time, and when they land on your spot, they will try and invade your ship. If you do not have shields, well, you'll have to vary them off or fight them off and then quickly jump to a new sector. Now, they do chase after you in the critical zone. In the high zone, they will chase after you maybe once, and then when you try to go out of the danger zone, they will leave you. But in the critical zone, they'll chase you to every sector that you jump into. Now, there is ways to get around this difficulties. As I said, it's basically by getting shields. The more shields you have, the higher damage, or the higher your security is. Basically what that means is, let's take for instance again the pirates. When they jump onto your sector, they'll start shooting at your ship to deplete your shields, and when your shields are lowered, they'll start boarding you again. They tend to go always for your greenhouse and your generators. It's pretty realistic when you get into that. But yeah, it's a novel idea. I did like that, but it does become repetitive after some time, and especially in the early game and mid game when you do not have shields, because the only place that I saw where you could get shields was from the traders. Now, yeah, coming back to traders, as I said, traders do have the ability to give you certain modules, and I think through my whole game I got the medical bay, the shields, and I think it was a workshop level 2. I got that from the traders. Now, the traders also give you the option to trade in between resources. So let's say, for instance, you've got gold but you need platinum. They will have platinum and trade it for gold. It's basically your higher tier resources. They cost more than your lower tier resources. So yeah, resources are not an infinite source. There is a finite available. And the key ones to always keep in mind is uranium, sulfur, and lithium. Now, uranium you need for the movement. It's basically a fuel source. And then the sulfur and the lithium is used for your weapons and your defensive structures. So always try to bulk up on those things. Now, getting to the gameplay, the developers went again to a 3-level gameplay mechanic in this game. The first one being the actual building, or the ship building, or the civilization building aspects of the game, like we said in the beginning. Now, you'll use guard, design, and build your ship. But the ship is not really a ship, it's more like a colony. So, to be honest, this is the part of the game that I actually enjoyed the most. Because the colony building mechanisms are set up in a 3D environment. Now, you start on level 0 and you can go 3 levels up, 3 levels down. Now, space is limited, but you actually do have a wide enough area to build in. The issue with it is, now you must manage on how you're building your ship, because you can build corridors going all around, but they cost energy. And per corporation, you only have certain amount of reactors that you can build. So you can only build in essence a set amount of modules. Now, you'll actually just discover that late in the game. Like myself, I discovered it later in the game that there was a restriction on the reactors. So actually they restricted you on your building. Now this has got a very good, it's like a puzzle mechanism, because now you must decide, what do you need, a certain module, or would you go for storage and deposit, because 90% of your buildings will be centered towards storaging and depositing and crew quarters and life support. Now again, the modules are they are divided into categories like I can't remember them off by hand now, but it's connections, farming, crew, life support, defenses, and I think the last one was space. So you have to think, do you want to centralize on defenses? Do you want to centralize on farming, getting a ton of resources and stuff like that? So you always have to keep that up. Placing a building doesn't necessarily mean that it's there forever. You can destroy it and reorganize your ship, but it's going to cost you. You do get some material back from the initial deconstruction of the thing, but it's not a lot. You lose actually more than you need. So deciding early on where you want to put what is very important. Now this is one of the key features of the game that also irritated me a lot, because later on you'll get a lot of defensive modules like the decontamination, the security gates and stuff like that, which is actually essential for your building of your ship, because you need them at certain areas. So like what I did was with my greenhouses, I built a defensive module there. It would basically fend off any infestations or aliens or pirates spawning onto my ship. But the problem was I only got this module late in the game, or near the end of the game. So meaning I had to destroy a lot of my ship just to get that one module in. So I think the developers should rethink on what modules to start, because I would have liked that module to be given to me in the beginning of the game. But yes, beggars can't be choosers, and we make what we have. Then, yes, like I said, I enjoyed this part a lot. It took a lot of thinking. It took a lot of problem solving to get the best type of ship going out there. And this is also one of the aspects that would want me to come and replay this game as a different corporation, because I said not all corporations has the same amount of modules that you can build. Some has got allows you to do more, some allows you to do less. So yeah, this is one of the things that will bring me back to the actual gameplay. Now the second part of the game is the first person / RPG element of the game. Now I feel that this is also one of the places where the developers they kind of went too big for the game's emphasis, because in this part there's a lot of features I don't understand of the game. And a lot of the selling features for this game, I never really met it in this part. Now this part is basically where you'll spend like 90% of your gameplay in this actual mode. It's basically where you run around either on the ship or on the planets doing various things. Checking on your crews, checking for infestations, building clones, building weapons, and researching cures and stuff like that. But again, you know, the gameplays are far in the future, and the way that they made this is just basically you're just going to be basically running around a lot, especially if you go late game when you have a massive ship. You literally have to run to all the different levels. If you build your cloning facility on the third floor, the third lower floor, and it's at way at the end, you'll actually have to run there, and it can take up to 5 minutes to get there, do your work, run back. Yes, you do have clones that you can put in there to do it, but the clones are idiots. The AI in this game is totally bad. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, or it's just simply bad. Now this is also one of my main concerns, because this was actually the part of the game that the developers wanted to improve, and that's why they extended the release date on this game. But to be honest, I can see no difference from the launch part of the game that they did in September of 2018. So there's actually no difference that I can see there. Now, getting back to the topic, like I said, you've got clones that you can put into the modules to do the work, but the AI, it's totally stupid. You still have to go to the module, select what you want to do, and then leave. The bots will then just go onto the mini computer and start speeding up the process. There is no self-initiation for them to do the things. Now, you do have a PDA with you, but I don't understand the need for this thing, because if I was a developer of the game, I would have put myself or I would have given the player the ability to set parameters of what needs to be built via the PDA, and then let the AI or the clones do the work as such. But again, that's not there. So there's a lot of micromanagement in the game, and you'll be spending majority of your time just running up and down the corridors, get to a module, put in what you want, run back there. If there's no weapon rack or something near you, let's say you're building weapons, then you have to run back there when it's done, get the weapons or whatever. Now, this is also one of the speaking about the clones. The clones, like I said, they're idiots. I don't understand it. I don't see the difference between a level 1, 2 or 3 clone. They both, yes, the level 2 and level 3, they do the work a bit quicker. But when it comes to defense work and stuff like that, they're still stupid. They'll walk through infestations, they'll walk through spores, not doing anything about it. So it feels to me that they're not completed. I really believe there should be a lot more AI structuring done for the clones, especially when you get invaded. Let's take the pirates invading you. Your crew members will just run around screaming. Some of them will pull out a pistol and just shoot at them, but they're just cannon fodder. I've been invaded, I think, 6 times, and on every occasion all my crew members died because the AI does not know how to fight back. And they will stand in a corner or just start running into an object and not get away from it. So I really believe they should rethink the AI for the clones. And I would have liked it also if I could have customized my clones by, let's say, making some of them security guards, giving them better weapons, giving them better gear. However, this is not there. So I totally feel cheated in this aspect with the game. So I really think they should rethink this part. But that brings us to the 3rd level of the game. Now, the last part of the game, it's actually the part of the game that I think really puts a negative spin to me on the game. And it's one of the aspects of the game that would make me not want to replay this game over and over and over again. That's basically the resource collection. Now, the resources in the game is always the same. It's iron, copper, aluminium, platinum, gold, nitrate, lithium, sulfur, uranium, I think, oh yeah, and biomass. So it's always the same things, and you always get it on the same means. Now, the way how it works is you'll jump into a new sector, then you'll go to one of the computer consoles, and you'll start. A sector will always have debris and planets in them. You'll start by scanning the debris, scanning the planets, and the debris will give you, let's say it will give you iron. But let's call it ore and ingots. Now, the debris will give you ingots, and the planets will give you ore. Now, the way I'm thinking, or the way I was taught, was that iron or ore would give you more ingots. However, in this game, it doesn't work like that. The ore on the planets, if you refine them, actually you have to refine them to make use of them. That means you have to get people in a module and start melting down the resources to get the ingots. Now, you'll think that an ore would give you more ingots because it takes longer and it's a harder process to get the ore. However, it's not like that. One ore equals one ingot. So the quickest way is actually just to scan the debris fields and beam up the debris. Now how this works is it's also, the resource collection is also set in 2 levels. You can either build it, or you'll have to have a tractor room, you'll have to have a hangar, and you'll have to have a refinery to get all the resource that you need. Now the tractor room is needed for the debris. Basically you'll beam in or transport in the debris from space onto your deck. Now this can always have some dire consequences, as infestations, aliens and bugs can also be teleported in with the ingots. The second part is the harder part, and it's the I don't know what to say, but it's the boring part of the game, because you have to build a hangar and you have to build a refinery. Now after the hangar is built, you again go to the hangar bay, you'll again go on a computer, you'll again select one of the planets, you'll get on the what do you call it, the harvester ship, and you'll fly to the planet. Getting on the planet, you'll have to ore the mine, or the ore. It's usually, it's always the same colors. It's either blue, purple or yellow. And yeah, that's giving me always some issues also, because aluminium, copper, iron, platinum, they all look the same. So the only way you can get it is by choosing your harvester tool, and then it will tell you what is it. Now while you're also harvesting the resources, bugs will every 2 or 3 minutes they will spawn in, and they'll try to to attack you. Some planets there will be an alien ship, a UFO, that beams in, and they will teleport bad guys onto the ground. Now killing these guys will give you DNA modules, and will also give you biomass. But it's always the same, and it's always they always spawn in exactly, let's say if it's 1 minute, they always spawn in 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute intervals, which is quite annoying. Now how they also, or what they also did was to break up this boredom, is they added on some planets, they added sites. Now these sites have got either locations to technology, or it has got technology. The technology is either in suit upgrades, weapons, or new modules. It's fun, but it quickly gets boring. But yeah, then basically every harvester can only carry 5 loads. You go back to after you harvested 5 loads, you fly back to the hangar. Then it gets taken to the depository by the robots. After it's in the depository, the robot will take it from the depository to the refinery, where it will get processed, and one ore will give you 1 ingot, and then it goes back to the storage. So it's a pretty time-consuming process, and I think they could have made this a bit better, in the sense that every planet looks the same. The lighting, the shading on the planets is abysmal. It's ugly. It looks beautiful the first time, up until you get into the gameplay on the planet, and you see how bad it is. Especially I played when I started up the game, all my settings was on epic, and I couldn't see what was going on the planet. I had to put the shadow effects down to medium, and then it started looking better. The lighting, the graphics, it's, I don't know, I don't want to put the game negative, but it's not good, people. And for the time and the extension that they put to improve this game, I can't see what they did. It's ugly. Also, all the planets, they look the same. It's either a crystal planet, or a rocky planet, or a jungle planet. And the jungle planets are the worst planets in the game, because you literally can't see anything. The leaves are taller than what you are, so finding sights on them it takes forever. And then also you get stuck onto various objects on the planet. It's pretty damn annoying, and I think they could have rethought this thing, and they could have gone in a different approach with this idea. But yeah, it's yeah, people, it's bad. Yeah, and right, you do have the option to send your AI, your clones, to go to the planet on their own. It's quicker. It takes about 30 seconds for the ship to go there and back to bring the resource. However, the bad part is, and I think this is where they should have thought this thing through, is the AI or the clones that harvest any resources. So let's say there is aluminium, iron, and uranium on the planet, and you actually just want the uranium to be harvested. Now you send down the AI. The AI will harvest what they feel like. And so yeah, I would have liked it if you could have set an option where you tell the AI only get iron, only get copper, only get uranium or whatever, or get so much uranium, so much copper, or, you know, get the RPG feeling in this game. Then the other thing I didn't like about the harvest or the resource part is the bloody harvester. The gun that you have that harvests, the sound is, oh my, it sounds like somebody scraping their fingernails on a chalkboard. It's the worst sound ever. I don't know how the developers got to this sound. I don't know why they think this sound would be awesome. It's the worst thing ever. I every time I play it, I get like a cold feeling, like chicken pox and stuff running through my, yeah, it's just bad. And they should really rethink that. Come on, devs, you can do better than this. You had this game out for how long? Didn't the community give you feedback on this? Come on, really, it's just bad. Then again, the AI is pretty stupid when it comes to harvesting. It takes me, let's say, 10 seconds to harvest one rock or one ore. It takes the bots or the clones, 2 of them on one ore pile, it takes them about a minute. So the AI is pretty stupid. And then when the baddies come and attack, they will run onto the harvester and hide. So it's pretty damn annoying. Now there is like I said, there is traders that you can jump to that will also trade resources. It's fun for the first 2 times. But it costs you uranium and stuff like that to go and get to them, and they're usually always in the zones of the pirates, so you'll always have that warning about the pirates coming up to you and they're gonna attack you. So yeah, that's to be honest, the resource management is the worst part. Now, the following part you're going to see is the ending of the game. So I do warn you that if you do not want any spoilers, you can stop the video now. Or if you want to check what's happening at the end, you can continue watching. Now, the last aspect of my review is the storyline. Now, I do like the idea of the story that the world is coming to an end. It gives emphasis on real life events. So basically, the story is as such. The world is ending. You are sent out to go and find new planets, which they call Genesis, in the Alpha 1 system to settle down. Now, how this works is when you're in the game mode, you'll go through all the sectors and you'll find various planets, and there'll be various Genesis planets. I think in this one I found 3 Genesis planets. The one needed nitrogen as a breathing, the other one was nitrate oxide, and the other one was oxygen. Now, each planet also has got, without the consumption restrictions, being oxygen, whatever, it also comes with the amount, you have to have a certain amount of people to settle that planet. Now, getting the amount of people again goes to the way and how to you set up your ship, because like myself, I didn't have enough crew quarters, didn't have enough power, so I had to break down a lot of my crew quarters. And then not my crew quarters, but I had to break a lot of my modules to get power, to build the crew quarters, clone the people, and then you get onto the planet. Now, when you're getting onto the planet, I went to an oxygen-rich planet. So I don't know if it's different for each planet, but on this planet I had to defeat a boss. Now, the boss was in the form of a bug queen, which I do like. It gives me that feeling of Starship Troopers. But unfortunately for me, the game crashed, and when I booted it up again, I didn't have any sound in the game, so I couldn't actually hear what was going on in the game. So I was playing it without any sound. After you destroyed the queen, they'll throw you like an honor guard parade. You'll go and click on the satellite dish, and you'll send a signal to Earth. and then all the humans will start coming to the planet to settle the planet. Thereafter, the game is basically done. It will give you a breakdown of all the modules, all your game statistics, what you killed, what you did. It will give you all the technology that you unlocked, all the perks that you got from this. That will be carried over onto your next playthrough. Now, it also gives you the option to either start a new gameplay or to continue from where you started or from where you ended. So you can actually just continue on, find a new planet, settle on that planet, again go through it. Especially like myself, I continued to go with the continue button because I didn't find all the modules. I found about 60%, 68% of everything. So I wanted to unlock everything. So yeah, that's why I did that. Now I do like this aspect of the game. The only thing I didn't like about this, that the galaxy map did not regenerate its resources. So I basically harvested like 70% of all the resources in the game. So yeah, I was pretty much screwed with resources being available for me. So, but it's still, it's a nice effect to the game. I do not understand the boss battle. I would have maybe have done it like in a war situation where you take down, like in this case I had to take down 14 people. So rather have like a war simulation or something going on. But potato, it still worked. It was still fun. The boss was it was good. Not too overpowering, not too weak. It actually did kill me the first time, but I did have a level 3 shotgun which spawned the living hell out of it. But it was fun. I liked it. I think the end movie could have been a bit better, but like I said, whichever beats the boat. It was overall, I would give the game a 5 out of 10. Because like I said, there was a lot of negative things. The AI being stupid, the replayability, it's bad, the lackluster features, the promises that was not delivered on, the graphics are not the best. I mean, they could have, I mean, this is Team 17. I mean, they've been around for some time, so they could have updated the graphics a bit. But again, the storyline was good. I did like the approach of the thing. I did like the building part of the game. That was my biggest, I had the most fun actually in the building part of the game. I think also they could have done the cloning a bit better and a bit easier, because I don't know, waiting on a planet, killing aliens till they drop 10 DNA modules to only unlock it. I think there could have been a better way to do that. The other thing is also I would improve the intelligence of the bots quite a lot. I don't know. But overall, like I said, I'll give the game 5. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it. It's something different. There is, like I said, there is games out there that's like this, but I'll still give it a try, and I'll still recommend people to give it a try. Would I put the price tag that I put on it of $29 or basically $30? No. Because, you know, a game with that price has to have replayability. Like I said, this game doesn't really have replayability. When you've unlocked everything in the game, that's where the game ends. So it's got no multiplayer features. There's no skirmish battle things. I think there could have been some PvP in this, or at least some multiplayer aspects to it, like bringing your friends on to crew with you. Yeah, I think it could have been. I really think they should rethink this thing. And I think the extra 3 months, or not the 3 months, it was almost 6 months they took to release this thing. I think they could have really rethought this idea. But yeah, overall the game was okay. I enjoyed it. It was. I'll give it an average rating of 5 out of 10, like I said. So guys, if you like this video, remember what to do. Hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Remember, also share this with your friends. If you know one of your friends would like to buy this, I would recommend them watch this to make their mind. And always, like I said in the beginning, this is my personal thoughts, so it's nothing. I'm not negative about the game. I didn't badmouth it or didn't try to I was just giving an honest opinion of what I felt the game was like. So yeah, hope you guys liked it, and then guys, check you on the next one.